I got to just make this video because it's such an important point. I'm not going to make a really long video about it though, but people sign up a lot of times for Sync Academy or some online educational platform or course or something like that. And a lot of times they make the mistake of thinking that it's the course that's going to teach them how to be a better producer, or it's going to be this new method that's going to make them much better. Not to say that you can't learn something new or you can't use a new method or any of that kind of stuff. I've done that in my career so many times. But you know who's taught me the best about how to become a better producer? Me. I'm the only one for myself, for my own music. So you will be the only one that's actually going to teach yourself the best way to produce music. Now, I do recommend you expose yourself to a lot of different approaches and ideas, but what I want to keep pushing back against, and I need to make sure that this is very clear for all of you that are in Sync Academy, is please don't become tutorial junkies where you're doing nothing but watching tutorials and you're not producing music. You're not opening up your DAW. You're not actually playing with your keyboard. You're not messing with different sounds and trying new plugins and messing with this EQ versus that one, or seeing what happens when you throw this compressor on your master bus versus that one in different settings. So if you are at least, it doesn't matter where you're learning, what you're learning. And in some ways, like spending more time producing music and less time watching tutorials, I believe is the winning combination. I think maybe an hour a day max. I really do think that. If you're in the very beginning stages of learning about sync licensing, I understand that you just want to kind of just dive in and, sort of really understand as much as you can. But there does come this fine line where watching tutorials becomes a form of procrastination, where it's like, well, okay, I'm really excited. I learned a lot, but I don't know everything yet. So before I start making music, let me watch more. That's not how learning actually works. You don't cram your head full of stuff and then just like through osmosis know how to do things, right? I always talk about this analogy that if you want to learn how to snowboard, which is going to help you better? Reading a book about snowboarding or getting yourself onto a ski lift and going down a mountain with a snowboard strapped to your feet? Reading about snowboarding can certainly prepare you, get you ready, get you thinking about it, right? And kind of mentally picturing what it's going to be like. But is that anything close to what it feels like to have the cold wind hitting against you, or feeling your balance move back and forth, or catching air as you go through a jump, or getting off the ski lift and losing your balance and falling over, right? Like you don't get any of those in like just bodily experiences or mental experiences from reading a book about snowboarding or watching a course or a tutorial about it or watching a YouTube video, right? The same thing applies for sync licensing. So you can watch me produce all day long. You can watch your other sync pros produce all day long and see how we're doing that. And I hope that motivates you. I hope that gets you excited. I hope that gets you kind of set for this sort of motion of making licensable music. But at some point, click the pause button, put it away, and open up your DAW and go down the mountain, essentially, right? Strap on your snowboard, get on that ski lift, and feel that cold air and feel what it really feels like to be producing music. And you're not going to do it perfectly the first couple of times. And for a long time, probably, you're not going to be making music that's, especially if you're brand new, that's licensable, that's high quality, that's ready. So if you're having this false expectation that, well, I'm going to watch all these tutorials and then I'll just sort of skip the learning phase and I'll just, from day one, be making licensable music. Not going to happen. Sorry to be a bubble burster. It's just not going to happen. You'll definitely have better ideas. You'll have a better approach. You'll have more of a systematic, probably a better strategy in terms of like what you're doing and not just sort of pulling randomly. Like you're going to know, oh, I need to get a reference track and I need to sort of follow in line with what this reference track is doing and sort of pay attention to its structure, right? And compare my mix to it. So you're going to have a better blueprint for sure of how to get started. But in terms of holding your fingers on your mouse and clicking on things and putting your hands on your keyboard and composing melodies and all that kind of stuff, nobody can teach you that better than you. You just have to go down the mountain. You just have to feel that for yourself, okay? Anyways, I said I was going to keep this short, so I will keep it short. So that's all I got for you guys today.